the Pro Bowl happen. The Mannings, the Stars, the packed stadium. Quite
I call
an event.
it the Feel Good Bowl.
I need you to talk to me about this because I don't really care. It doesn't really do it for me. I don't know if you are more invested in the game because you've been to the Pro Bowl and I haven't, or give me your thoughts on this because I don't watch it. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to give an update, if anybody didn't watch it just like me, the NFC won.
They did. Okay, yeah. Great.
But lately, I don't know if you're a bettor and you want to say that leads to something. When the NFC wins the Pro Bowl, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying if you're going for the three-peat, I'm just saying that's something to think about.
Sure, that's got some real strong correlation there.
Yeah, no question. But listen, you got some flag football, you got Madden deal, the tug of war, the relay race, the spike deal was interesting, the punt perfect. A lot of theatrics fits, but here's what I would say. I'm not watching it. I think it's great. That's why I call it the Feel Good Bowl. I feel like it's something that if you're just like, man, I want something positive to watch because of the nature of what it is now and how they do it and how much they've changed it. It's more of just, I think it's better, honestly, if you said, hey, this is for the kids and the fans to just get a chance to be around. I think it's more of now something you go attend and be there. You think of like NFL Play 60. You think of like the NFL setups they do around the Super Bowl where fans get to go be a part of it. I think that's more what this Pro Bowl is about. It's about, man, go watch the guys kind of do some fun stuff, have a lot of camaraderie. You do see that, which I think is awesome. I think that's great. But
what do the linemen do?
Stand around and drink beers, I think.
Like, did you have to play left end, right tackle, or left guard? How did you figure out which tackle position you were playing and all of the above there?
I was more stressed out worrying about playing right tackle in the Pro Bowl than how nervous I was when I played in the Super Bowl. All right, in either one of them. Okay,
can you explain? You explained this great like 2 years ago on Thursday Night Football, but can you explain to people? Give them an analogy, your great analogy of like why it just doesn't seem like to me, or maybe to the layman, left tackle versus right tackle. It's not that different.
And here's the difference. And I know when people look at a field, they don't think it's different. But imagine just if you had to run a race, you've got to flip what foot stands in front. You've got to brush your teeth with the other hand instead of the one you always do. You know, if you pick up your phone, everyone kind of has a hand they hold it with and the one they text with, or they can text with just that hand with that finger. You got to do it with the other one. Just think of flipping everything you do in life, whatever hand it is you use or foot you use. And that's what it is. Now, all of a sudden, my inside hand is my power hand and I've flipped sides. So now my left hand's my power hand. My right hand's kind of my pommel hand. And then my left foot's pushing and my right foot's kicking. And on the other side, my right foot's pushing and my left foot's kicking. So now all of a sudden, everything you've been taught, all the things you've built into muscle memory are completely flipped. And if you've only played there, which back in that Pro Bowl day, there was not a lot of guys. I think now you've seen more guys flip sides than really back then. Guys just kind of, they were specialized in one spot, one side of the offensive line. You really only played left. So a lot of times in the Pro Bowl, there were 3 left tackles and one of you would have to go to play right tackle. And it almost turned into a fist fight. I actually watched Trent Williams and Tyron Smith one year, literally like the beef, like it was real. Like they were like not talking to each other at the Pro Bowl because it was like he's saying he won't. I think Trent was saying like Tyron had said he wouldn't play right tackle or something. Anyways, it was hilarious because you're like, this is funny. Like dudes are getting legitimately mad.
But how do you do? Is it by age? Is it by amount of Pro Bowls? Is it a coin toss? Like how do you pick whether you're playing left tackle or not?
It's definitely age. And I feel bad. I do want to apologize to Joe Staley. Joe and I were both elder statesmen, but I was the oldest and I was the,
Joe.
Sorry. So in one of the Pro Bowls, I let him have the duty. And I also, I think, got out of the game after like the third quarter or in the third quarter and let him finish it out. Decided I was done. I'd had too many Mai Tais that week. But, that's the thing, the old school Pro Bowl. And I think this is where it's different, Fitz. And this is really where you'd say old age, new age, the game, where I can relate. My first Pro Bowl was one of Peyton Manning's last. It was in Hawaii, and it used to be at this smaller hotel that was completely private for the week. And it was all the dudes who made the team, all the coaches, like sitting around a pool, Mai Tais, beers on trays. Like we're just literally, hey guys, all day, telling the waiters, waitresses, just keep the trays coming. We're all going to sit right here all day long. And you'd sit in a circle and tell stories and hang out together and play with each other's kids. Like I've always told Drew and Michael, they have no idea who Peyton Manning was at the time. They were 3 years old, I think, or 2 years old. And he's like throwing them around in the water in the pool. And I'm like, dude, one day this is gonna be really cool if you'll be able to tell, but they don't even remember it, right? But for me, it's really cool, and I'll continue to tell the story. But Peyton sent me a text on Wednesday or Thursday, like, he had ordered a Mai Tai at the Orlando hotel, which is obviously not Hawaii, but it was like, he sent me the picture, like, hey, dude, remember these times? And it was great. We had some awesome times and some of the coolest things ever. I can remember they had Train play on top, like they built a stage on top of the pool, and Train played one
Little
night.
Drops of Jupiter, okay.
Dude, unbelievable. Like, that's still one of the coolest moments in my entire life, because it was my first ever Pro Bowl, to be in this room with all these dudes that at that point I was young enough to where I'd looked up to these guys, watched them play since I was in high school, junior high, and just felt like I should not be in this room. But here I am, and there's somebody playing music, like an insane concert, families there, and everyone circled around this thing, and you're with all these legend football players. That's the thing. The old guys are like, man, the Pro Bowl will never be the same, because you don't have that anymore. Now it's like a spectacle, and you're everywhere, and it's more like a Super Bowl media day the whole week. It's just media and fun events and all that, but that intimacy of just spending time together, just the guys that made the team, you just don't get it anymore.
Well, you can't monetize that. You can't monetize just sitting by the pool and drinking beers. So in the age of social media, we got to be able to put everything out there and monetize everything. I would say that the cool thing that I saw from the Pro Bowl, again, like if I'm going to see it, it's going to be highlights on social media, but didn't sit down and watch it, was Kyle Van Noy, first Pro Bowl, to be able to share it with his family, his wife and his 2 kids. And they went to Disney World. So I guess one of the great things about it not being in Hawaii and being in Orlando now, or at least this last year, was he probably got that all access, backdoor pass to all the rides at Disney, and looked like he had a banging time.